Hey, hey, hey. I am recording this for the third time, so I hope this goes through. But this week's update is going to be short and sweet. I am in my new Bangkok condo. That is the setting, which we'll have to do a whole other video sharing this process. But I'm really excited for just the beginning of this next chapter. And if it feels and sounds random, you're like, wait, what week did I miss? Don't worry. This all happened within the last 2 weeks. It's been very, very fast. I am in, okay, where do I start? So we we hosted Life Leap Cohort 2, the mastermind in Koh Samui, Thailand. And what what a week, what an adventure, what a group, what a what a life, honestly. And this tone, I'm trying to compartmentalize because it is such an interesting thing as a human to hold space for joy and pride and bliss and purpose and contentment and ease. And in the same breath, grief from family death. So, long story short, on the second day of the mastermind, almost close to midnight, Stefan got a call and found out someone near and dear to him and his family had passed away. And within a matter of minutes, we were booking him on the next flight out to be back home to make the funeral, which would be in a couple days. Like everything happened so fast. And I still had the third day to close out. So we are up at night, just crying in each other's arms till probably 5, 6 a.m. And when you don't expect to end your time together so abruptly, and then, of course, holding space for such deep grief. One thing about marriage and long-term relationships is grief is such a beautiful is the wrong word. It's such an interesting way to connect with your person because I don't think there's anything more vulnerable to experience than someone in grief. And I think we've had varying levels of trauma in our past, but neither of us had experienced a family death since we'd been together. I'd had a friend's death last year, and he held beautiful space for me during that time. And yeah, so it's just so life is so precious and it's so unpredictable, and um, it's it's a reminder that nothing. I don't even know. I don't have words, but you could see that I'm still deep in processing. And just to contextualize the week, so while I closed out the mastermind, the following day I came here to collect the keys to this condo, move my stuff in, close out the mastermind logistics, and then I'll be on my flight to first the US. I have 3 days to hand back the keys to my apartment that I've had for 5 years in the US, which I hadn't started packing because 4 months ago I was like, when that time comes, I'll worry about it. And that time has come and I have 3 days. So obviously I would love to be with Stefan right now. And I think right because there's so much um at the yeah, I'm gonna be with him right after I hand my keys in. So once I finish out that process, I'll fly to Bosnia to be with him. And I think after you have like that private time with family to grieve, it's a little bit easier to um, be introducing, be introduced to people for the first time. Um, I know some of his family members, I meeting under the circumstances of grief is is just strange. It's just really strange. And so allowing that privacy for yeah, just the family to be together and not have to worry about translating for the one American in the room. I really wanted that for him. So, and obviously he's bummed that he can't be with me to pack up my apartment. But I am. leaning into a season of, yeah, asking for what I need and not being afraid to, not trying to do everything by myself and not being afraid to ask for help because I don't do that often. And I think we actually brought this up at the mastermind that no one helps the strong friend because you look like you have everything together. So you're the resourceful one, you're the joyful one. People don't help those who don't look like they're suffering. And it's not that suffering is like a cop out, but um, it's when you've gone through so much and you've learned to um, get on with life because life happens to everyone and you've learned to take the punches and turn them into um, battle scars that you would use for leverage. I don't know, but I've allowed everything that's happened to me to become a part of my story and to help me build my character. So I am, yeah, now it's I have a massage. Juliet was so nice. She put me a massage at this hour at 6 p.m. So I'm probably gonna end this. Oh, oh, yeah, it's okay. Is she? Oh, 6:30 the massage. Thank you so much. That's great. That's very helpful. So I can finish this video and not cut it too short. But I think what this past week has taught me the most, number one, in-person events are not only the future, they are the answer. That was good. Give me a second. Hang on. In-person events, not only the future, they're the answer. I like that one. Many of my thoughts that you see posted online, they come from rambles. And you could be listening to this like, well, that wasn't that deep. And it's not that it has to be deep, but when I say something and it unlocks something for myself, I'm like, oh, if that hit me, I know it's hitting someone else. Because I live with my thoughts. I live with this brain. So if I'm moved by my own brain, I know that there's something for someone else. So yeah, what was I saying? That's my train of thought. Doing a lot of crying lately, so I have to excuse my voice, my eyes. I didn't bother to do anything. 'Cause it is what it is. This is supposed to be a video diary that is raw and real and documenting what's happening in life. So there's that. Um, minimalism. I am excited for the challenge of going to my apartment and figuring out what actually stays. I'm excited for the people who will be on the receiving end of free furniture in great condition. I'm excited for prioritization of belongings. What do I need in this next? I'll take it maybe a quarter at a time, or sorry, a year at a time. So I don't see myself coming back to the US more than once a year. Yeah, I just don't see it in the cards for me. I just ideally, I get friends and family to come to me because that's also they get two in one. They get the vacation, and plus we get to reunite. But yeah, so I can't if I were to close my eyes and think of what I need to bring here, I see nothing. I see blanks. There's so many photos, there's so many books. Like um, I gotta figure out if I can ship my iMac here. Is that worth it? Or do I just I don't know, can you bring it back to Apple? It's in brand new condition practically. Had it for 3 years. And yeah, like I use my laptop more, so the wear and tear isn't there. It's still in just great condition. So I have to figure out what to do with that because collecting dust and storage isn't a good use. There's no ROI on that. So at least for that investment, I think the hardest things that I'm going to lose are probably, I want to say lose. I mean, the ROI of the investment. I think it's a $4,000 mattress. That's the most expensive thing I own. Because I figured that This was my first place that I had ever lived in by myself. So I said, what's something I'm going to use every single day that will add to the quality of my life? And I was like, oh, my mattress. Like that will be used multiple times a day for my naps. But yeah, so I went to Mattress Firm and I did the whole like lay on the beds and test it. And it felt like such a luxury, but it was my very first purchase for furniture in that apartment. And I, yeah, I got the whole, the mattress came with like yeah, I guess the mattress itself is like 3K and then the bending thing is 1K. But basically, just it was such a luxury. It was such a luxury. I gained so much weight probably just from having that bed because you were sucked into it. Your body like the the mattress formed around your body. It was horrible for your back. I didn't realize that till later that it was not good for your back, and it probably added to my back problems. And it's kind of beautiful watching the um yeah the sun kind of setting in the back as we're going along. Okay. So yeah, and then clothes. I think yeah, shopping in your own closet is always fun. I am happy with what I have now. I think I am looking for a couple more staple pieces to that are more of like basics, like a solid maroon jacket, a solid set of maroon pants, a solid white shirt, solid black shirt, more of those basic items. I think I left a lot of them at home, so I'm excited for that. And loungewear is underrated. I don't think we realize how often we wear loungewear. Or, I mean, it's similarly to a mattress. It's used daily because more often than not, you're spending more time in your home than outside on an average work day if you work from home. So just comfortable, cozy loungewear that allows me to, yeah, feel comfortable. And mind you, I can get that stuff here in Bangkok. So I'm also not too fussed about what comes with me versus what I can buy here. This place, it's 2 bedroom, 2 bath, and it's a very, it's minimal. So even the way there's like a lack of storage space, which at first I was like, how, why? Everything here is so good. Like, why would you mess it up by not having ample storage space? Because my apartment in the US, I had like two huge walk-in closets and I filled both of them up, unfortunately. So yeah, I just always felt like, storage space is a must. And there is like a storage place, but it's not as intuitive as I would think storage should look like. So anyways, it automatic or immediately helped me redefine like, oh, I shouldn't be needing to put too much away anyway. And I came here with two carry-on luggages, like on wheels. So that's as much of suitcases as I want to have. I will travel to the US with a backpack, so I won't be checking anything in. And that will help me just, again, try to be minimal as I travel. And yeah, I'm just excited, excited, excited. And man, what a year it's been. I can't believe we're at the end. I can't believe we've been here almost, what, 48 weeks now doing this thing. If you are just now joining for the first time, you have 40 plus episodes to catch up on. You can watch from week one and just see the progression of my year. I think it's very fascinating. But yeah, it's several hours. Oh my goodness, if you have to actually watch all of them back, which I might do that. That seems like a fun way to kill a couple days, maybe on my flight. Just watch myself. No, that's terrifying. The thought of watching yourself for that long. Um, okay. This cheered me up. I didn't think I would be able to do this until I was back in the US or till I felt better. But I think what's also important about documentation is that you're not trying to fake what you're feeling for the sake of a performance or a script you're trying to follow. This is this is me. Hmm. And yeah, I'm just grateful to be here, grateful for the lessons, the journey, the opportunities. And yeah, there's a couple of things that happen as well, work-wise, that are just like exciting and it's in the works. And I just I always ask, how did you find me? And it's like your work online. You posted this video, you made this piece of content. And it's just a reminder that content truly is king and it can open doors that you weren't going to knock on in the first place. And that can be a really exciting thing when you live a life like mine that is very fluid. There is no one set path that my future is going to take me. I see opportunity everywhere. I love to go with the flow. And I'm also never opposed to a pivot. I think those who pivot and pivot fast and often live the most fulfilled lives because they're not stuck through golden handcuffs or a version of themselves that they thought they needed to be or people assume they should be. So there's that. Yeah, just wrapping up from the mastermind, just lessons that we learned from cohort two, which was the first time Stefan and I got to host the mastermind together. Last time in the Philippines, he had last minute visa issues and they wouldn't let him board the plane. And that was tragic. It just really sucked because you plan one thing and it goes another way. And even for this time around, his Thai visa required him to fly back to Bosnia to Thailand, even though we were coming from Bali. He, yeah, it's protocol and bureaucracy is just uh, it's annoying for his type of passport. And yeah, it's just unfortunate that these rules exist, these arbitrary rules exist for arbitrary reasons. But yeah, we were just really happy he was able to get into the country with no issues. And we just really appreciate how efficient Thailand is. I think the biggest difference between, and mentioned this in previous Thai vlogs is, it's not a vlog, sorry, video diary. I have to keep reminding myself that it's not a vlog, it's a video diary. But Thailand and Bali, sorry, Thailand and Bali, they operate very differently. And I can appreciate the efficiency that Thailand has. Bali is very fluid. You can make anything possible, but you just have to know the right people. You have to you have to like have experience. You have to try a couple people out in terms of like vendors and services. But Thailand, it feels like everyone does pretty quality work. Everyone is top notch and reliable and trustworthy. And I think when you call this place the land of smiles, it's not just a euphemism. It truly is a place where people operate with integrity and with a smile on their face while they do it. And I just really appreciate that. So yeah, one day I hope to give you the full toy camp. I'm still like, this is day one for me living in this place. I'm looking at it like, who lives here? Not me. I was in another US city. Remember when we were getting really close to signing the paperwork, and I looked at the view and I'm like, this isn't what I wanted, but I think it's good enough. It's good enough. And let me not be too greedy and ask for more. And I already had a really nice view for 5 years, so it's okay if I downgrade. And it's amazing what we do to ourselves, how we try to talk ourselves out of our goals and our dreams by thinking that we're asking for too much when God literally wants us to live joyful, abundant lives. And this view, it's something out of a fairy tale. I mean, it's better than a New York skyline. And I've never lived in New York, but I've stayed in Times Square hotels multiple times, and you have a great view, in some of those like high-rise hotels in Manhattan. But this is nothing like it because we have a corner unit, and this is like the convergence of streets, and there's a river, and the fireworks that are gonna yeah, I just very, very excited to experience that. Okay, my massage is coming in 15 minutes, and I should probably sweep the clothes off my bed so they can see my bed. I am I'm grateful that you're here. This life thing is full of turns, but the most beautiful part is that we just keep going and we have an opportunity to continue learning from life and all that it presents us. Keep Stefan and his family in your prayers. And yeah, I'll see you next week. Bye bye.